my car, and even step-granddaughter. So, making up stories.
Now the fake name. You said this is not your name. So what is your name?
Well, we've been through this, haven't we? I mean, my name on my passport is Andrew Martin Wynne. Yes.
And for honoring us with your presence on this show. We'll be sure to bring you back on our show. Thank you very much for being a part of this.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's hope the innocent people are freed as soon as possible.
The authorities. The security apparatus came out to say that two persons had funded the End Bad Governance and the End Hunger protests. And, a non-Nigerian, a British, we just interviewed, and someone else had been named. Of course, he said that he was in the country while the protests were ongoing. The police knew where he was. He wasn't named. Nothing was said about him until he left the country a couple of days after the protest began on the 1st of August. And why didn't they name him while he was in the country? They knew where he was staying. Why didn't they come after him? Why did they start raising alarm after he had left the country? I think I should begin with you, Mr. Adekunle Aliu. We have listened to we've gotten information from the horse's mouth. We have listened to the man himself. And we've heard the side of the police. We've also listened to the man himself. What can you take out of what we just had?
I'm so confused, but again, the police will have to do their job well to disprove or whatever. To the people that look, he's going to be his word against evidence. So if the police can keep it up and get him to get to prove what they are alleging, that's what we're waiting for.
All right.
He has denied everything now. Yeah. It's with the police.
The man has said he's not coming to talk to the police. Picked up, according to him, kidnapped. With all the phones in the house. And they didn't even allow his wife, and Esther, take one phone, to make calls and, for finance reasons, to make transfers and all that, for their 3-year-old kid. And he has been doing business 2000 he called it. That's 25 years or 24 years. He was all over the place. He became an instant celebrity suddenly because the police said he was part of the persons that caused trouble in Nigeria. The man has said he didn't cause any trouble. The man has equally said he was in the country for a couple of days and they knew where he was living. Nothing was said. Now, what he's saying is a complete opposite of what the security operatives are saying. Whose report do we believe?
Well, I've not really analyzed the facts or have in my disposal the fact that the security agencies that they're presenting regarding this matter. But one thing that I would say is that personally, in my own opinion, I would say this, that I can't fine-tune what interest a foreigner as such would have in the country. When I mean in the country, in the sense that in Nigeria, what kind of interest he would have to destabilize the government or say he wants to topple the government and all that. But again, we should also financially say that there should be facts to back it up that he's really funding terrorism. We have forgotten that terrorism is not about just the clamor for protest or clamor that we should have a change of government and all that, where we are having the situation we have in our hand. Now, it's far beyond that. We have people killing people in the north, killing farmers, people kidnapping on a daily basis. Are we saying these allies that are responsible for doing that? If we say
we should look at it from a very broad angle. You're trying to stereotype it. Yes, he could be. Yes, he can be. Agreed. But again, that he's not funding terrorism. We can't prove that. That is funding terrorism. We can't. It can be. He can be doing it and still have a shop. The man that they caught somewhere in Niger with gold, and so I don't know if you saw that video.
Yeah.
These are people doing legitimate. We think they are doing legitimate business, but they are
They have
funding
legitimate
terrorism
businesses as a front.
as a front. So what me I'm saying is that the police should do their due diligence.
Okay, why don't they come to the table with facts?
I'm not saying that there is no possibility that he
don't
may
let
be
us rule it
engaged.
out.
What I'm saying
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
these are facts that we need to check.
Yes.
What is the fund basis? When he came to Nigeria, how as the operation? He cannot be operating in isolation, in the sense that he can't be operating alone, funding terrorism alone. If he is doing that, let's check, let's do the findings. And aside from that, we should also find out the fact that those that are involved with him is funding the terrorism, the activities that are involved in these processes should also be checked. It shouldn't just be that because of the situation.
Do you think this is scapegoatism? Sorry, do you think this is scapegoatism in action?
Of course, the law cannot punish everybody. There must be some persons, one person or the other, that will be picked out, and that person will also pick out others. So if he is involved, like he said, the police, other security agencies should find out. But again, I would say that our dear government should not, because of whatsoever happened in the bad governance, as well as
propaganda.
yes, we should not use that to now as a propaganda, as to now be scapegoating, like you said, anybody. We should face the fact. Why we said the protesters have the right to protest. Again, it will be wrong for anybody to hide under the guise of protest to want to destabilize our country.
Of course.
And I would also say that it will be very wrong for us to have a foreigner, for that matter, to now come to Nigeria to say they want to be having influence in the way we on our activities. We will make our decisions ourselves. If there's going to be protest, there's going to be anything, it should be within the jurisdiction of Nigeria, and it must have a basis.
You know, this
That's
guy
it.
said he has a Nigerian wife.
Yes, he said so.
So, as a Nigerian,
He said he has been trying to get his Nigerian passport
we could
for 5 years
we could
now.
say
For
he has
5
Nigerian
years.
children too.
Yes, of course.
So he's a Nigerian father. So he's a Nigerian in a way.
In a way.
Now, my case again with is that, but this were not these information were not put out
The
there.
police never made mention.
If a man has been in Nigeria for over 20-something years, working and operating business in Nigeria, he's a Nigerian.
They only came out and said British. You know, more like
I know
external force.
you define him as a British because that's officially.
Yes,
who
I
he
know.
is.
That's what I'm saying.
But
That
underground,
there were no
let
links.
us know.
There were no links.
There should be links. There should
No,
let
there
us.
were no
We should,
links. All right.
we should clearly see the picture
I
of
know
who
what the situation. All right, you know that's what we do here in the media. We bring these matters before you, the public, and we X-ray them completely. We break them down piece by piece so that anybody out there watching can have an understanding of what the problems or otherwise are. The police have said A. The man that has been accused has said B. The ball is in the court of you to judge. Very quickly move over to the next topic. 48 hours ago, Nigerians went out doing their daily business. I was on the road trying to gather stories with my colleague as usual, and other persons had gone to their shops, some had gone to their bakeries, some had gone to their offices. And just before we could say Jack Robinson, news filtered in that NNPC had changed pump price to 855 naira. Now, this is what it means. If NNPC is selling for 855 naira, you should know that other stations will be selling for 1,000,